So, as any Sonic fan who owns a Switch knows, the W's are very rare. Generally, the other platforms get all the cool new stuff like backwards compatibility, but in a surprise turn of events, Nintendo announced a new partnership with Sega to release classic games on their subscription service. So we'll go into that partnership, all the games coming out in the first and second wave, as well as what this will bring for the future of Sonic games on their platform, especially with the GameCube expansion coming out down the line, and how this deal could lead to the triumphant return of Sonic Heroes. There's a lot to get into, so let's just start.
So, what's my move? Yeah, alright! Double boost! Ow, take me someplace cool. Whoa, whoa, that was cool. Whoa!
As anyone who plays games knows, Microsoft is dominating the subscription games market with Game Pass. A lot of other publishers have done their best to try and push their own service, but none have really succeeded. The second closest to success is EA Play, which has a partnership for a combined tier with Xbox Game Pass. However, Nintendo has quietly been working on creating their own service for classic games and are planning to expand it even further in the future. Now, so far, Nintendo has only released NES and SNES games, and there were rumors everywhere they would announce a Nintendo 64 expansion, so that wasn't surprising. But what is a surprise was they announced that a whole bunch of Sega Genesis games would also come free with your Nintendo Online subscription, which isn't free, just so you know. I'll go into the full list of what games are coming out for the N64 and Genesis, and the titles they're planning to bring in the next wave of editions. But this is big for the ecosystem, as this is the first time they've added any non-Nintendo console to the platform, and it's very indicative of their future plans for their online service. So I'll read the whole list of all the N64 and Genesis games coming. But first, drop a like, as Sonic has been getting a lot of W's and recovering well since Sonic Colors Ultimate shaky launch. Plus, if we get enough likes, we can use our combined will to manifest new Sonic Rangers news. And when we get that, you won't want to miss any of it. And no, the leak with no evidence doesn't count. Bruh. So drop a subscribe and especially hit the bell, so you're among the first to know when there's hot Sonic news from the freshest raccoon out there. Okay, so without further ado, here's the initial launch lineup of N64 games. There's Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, a lot of 64s, Sin and Punishment, that's hot, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Tennis 64, Winback, and Yoshi's Story. And the N64 games coming in the second wave are Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon Snap, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, and F-Zero X. In the launch lineup of Sega Genesis games are Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hard Cores, did I say that right? Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, you have to include it, it's a classic. Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Phantasy Star 4, a lot of you probably would have said IV, Rystar, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, and Strider. If you told me one of those last three games was fake, I would have believed you. And if this goes well, there will be more in the future. Wow. I wonder if the N64 games releasing at the same time will take a lot of wind out of the sales of Genesis games, as everyone will likely want to play Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time before they get to Rystar and Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. I hope Nintendo takes this into consideration when looking at the performance of people choosing Genesis games, because it would be really cool if this expands more in the future. Imagine if we got Sega CD, Saturn, or the most likely, the Dreamcast. I could even see them dropping Dreamcast at the same time as GameCube. That would be a promising value added to the Switch Online service. I think the N64 roster included is great value alone, as each of these would have been at least $20 individually in the shop. So a subscription for the rest of the Switch's lifespan would be about the same. Not that I'm glorifying this practice, as I feel constantly overwhelmed with subscription services that I didn't even know I have. I'm tired of them and they're getting so expensive. The worst being Adobe, who I've certainly paid the combined price of all the software I use multiple times by now, since it's $53 a month. What? For $5 a month to get the NES, SNES, N64, and Genesis games included, I would say this is worth it. It's a shame the Switch's actual online play for games is awful, but it's clear Nintendo has absolutely no clue how to make online services work, as they've truly never had a major game that required tight online multiplayer before Smash. It was a joke how bad the Wii's online play was, and they never learned their lesson. With Banjo and Kazooie being one of the games coming, it shows through Rare that Microsoft and Nintendo still have a very good relationship. And that's no secret. Surprisingly, they've actually had a long relationship. And you know what? Microsoft literally makes Windows. They are the absolute kings of online connection. And if they could work closer together behind the scenes to fix all these problems, Nintendo could have a really good service on their hands. But as of now, the only reason to get Nintendo Switch Online is these games they're adding. And since NES and SNES doesn't interest me a whole ton, I would only get it for these N64 games. The Genesis games are a nice touch, but technically you can get all of these Genesis games on the Switch, plus many more for much less. The Sega Genesis Classics Collection for Switch comes with over 50 games, and from what I see, all 14 Genesis games from the service are on there. Nintendo and Sega previously had a deal in 2013 to bring 3 titles exclusively to the Wii U. This is after they had already released 4 exclusive games to the Wii, with Sonic Colors, Sonic and the Black Knight, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and Sonic in the Secret Rings. So Nintendo and Sega have a close relationship, and with Sega no longer being a competitor to Nintendo in any way outside of games, it's a lot easier for them to welcome them on board their online ecosystem. I just assumed their online service was going to be exclusively Nintendo games, as it looks like everyone else did too. So this is a pleasant surprise. I wonder if we'll see this expand to Atari and other platforms down the line, or if maybe we'll even see Sonic Heroes get included in the GameCube edition. It was very popular there and is one of the few Sonic games not playable on any modern hardware. It got a PC port, but it's so notoriously bad that there's certain segments that are downright broken, and it's so old that it's impossible to patch through any kind of updater. So Sonic Heroes would be the next W. Adventure 1 or 2 would also be W's. But since Sonic Heroes is so well regarded, popular, and easy to pick up, it would be the perfect game for their service. Since Heroes is unlikely to get a remaster, though I can pray for one, so as of now, this looks like the only scenario where I can see this game coming to a modern platform. Nintendo doesn't publicly listen to feedback much, but Sega does. So while they might not be in the place to ask for a Dreamcast collection of games to be added, if Nintendo adds GameCube games, there would be a lot more room for them to put out these titles. Now, what I find most interesting is since Sega and Nintendo have had a history of such a long relationship, this could be the dawn of a new partnership emerging. Sonic games are known for dominating the family games market, and their last exclusivity deal had ups and downs. But since the Game Boy, Sega has given Sonic games a lot of love on Nintendo exclusive hardware. Which reasonably so, as that's where their market is. So the big question is, are we on the dawn of seeing this happen again? The Switch itself not only has sold a humongous amount of consoles, but sells an abundance of games at higher prices. They are making oodles of money there, and Sega obviously wants a piece of the pizza, and would definitely be willing to make more exclusive Sonic games for the platform. While Colors Ultimate had a bad launch on Switch, it wasn't made by Sonic Team. So Origins and Rangers are the real deciders. I assume the Origins collection launch will go smoothly because so little is required of them. And Rangers is entirely up in the air for now. So if they mess up Origins, it's game over. It's just pull out. So do you want to see Nintendo partner with Sega for more classic releases and future exclusives? Or do you want Sega to shop around their options? Comment what you think, and as always, I actually read them. Hit like if you forgot. That's right, I'm assuming you forgot because I know if you remembered, you would've. Subscribe to the #1 source of all Sonic news, The Sonic Show. And after you sub, if you hit the bell, you will have outstanding luck that day. I promise. Just a quick video to get out there. Lots of love. Peace.
Let's go. Stop, drop, up and roll. We win. Bingo. Here we go. Yeah. Look at all these rings. I don't want to miss a thing.